Hello, everyone, and welcome to Part 2 of Thrawn Alliances. This was originally done as one recording that had to be split into two parts due to its rather extreme length. So, if you haven't listened to Part 1, this is going to start in the middle and make absolutely no sense, so I suggest you do check out Part 1. If you don't know who Thrawn is, we have a lot of other Thrawn episodes. I suggest you go all the way back to the beginning and start from there. So, without further ado, here's the rest of, this. We can do this. Okay. Anakin finally notices that he's back from all his general stuff, and Padme still hasn't called. There's no answer. There's no messages on the machine, no texts.
There's usually at least a booty call or something.
Not even an email.
But damn.
So he's going to go out. He goes out to Batuu. When he gets to Batuu, there is a ship waiting for him in space. And the guy on the he radios Anakin, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, what are you up to?" And Anakin's like, "Get out of my way or I'll kill you."
Oh.
And he's like...
Anakin said that.
Yeah.
But he's the Jedi.
He's still a dick. And
okay.
He's like... Well, he's on a mission to save Padme, right? This is Padme we're talking about. Whenever Padme is concerned, Anakin loses his senses.
Smooth!
It's so goddamn smooth. He definitely doesn't exude weird incel serial killer energy.
So he's out there. All right.
He's out there and he's talking to this guy. And this guy's like, so what brings you to Batuu? And he's like, why are we talking? Leave me alone. And he's like, I think maybe we should have a little chat. And they start talking, and basically this guy convinces Anakin that they might be able to help each other out. Anakin's there looking for the girl who just arrived. Anakin's like, how do you know that? And he's like, it's just a hunch. I represent a group of people who would like to know a little bit more about what's going on. And I think maybe we can help each other out. We should go down to the planet together. And by the way, my name is Mithron Naruto.
It's the guy!
And Anakin's like, okay, Mithran Naruto, let's go. And then Thrawn goes, you can just call me by my root name. I don't remember.
The middle part of my full name.
Yeah, you could call me by the middle part of my full name, Thrawn.
Like how I'm not Nathaniel, I'm like Athen.
Anakin's like, no, it's fine. I'll call you Mithran Naruto. And he's like, Mithran Naruto. That's what I said, Mithran Naruto. He's like, Mithran Naruto.
Oh my god! And someone just yells, just kiss already! Come on!
I don't have the book sitting next to me, which is probably a mistake for recording. It does go like 3 times. There's 3 lines. Now, keep in mind, people, this is a book. So there's one where it goes, Mithran Naruto, Mithran Naruto, Mithran Naruto. And Anakin's like, that's what I said. And then he's like, fine, Thrawn. Are you laughing yet? They go down to the planet. They find Padme's ship. There's some guys around it. And
you didn't mention there's only 5 parking spots, but I'll let it slide this time. Go on.
I think that does come up again.
God, why? God.
Because Padme's in one of them. Or no, she's not. She's not in one of them. She moved because she had to like fly out to the middle of nowhere for some reason. I don't remember. I don't care.
Okay.
So they find Padme's ship out in the middle of nowhere.
I feel like you're making this up as we go along.
Oh my god. It blends together so much in my head. I can't remember what happens in the future and what happens in the past. It's so hard to differentiate. I read this 2 days ago.
Oh god. Oh, it's so good.
Is this what you wanted?
This is what I wanted.
Is this what you people want?
If you want to donate more money to make Ben lose his mind, we're at Buy Me a Coffee. .com/WAPI.
Okay. Alright, so they find Padme's ship. There's some dudes around it. And Anakin's like, get your hand off my wife, Senator Amidala's ship.
Oh my god, that's right! It's a secret! Oh god.
Okay, so Thrawn... Yeah, so the guys, they get away from the ship, and they go into Padme's ship, and they access the computer, but it's all encrypted. And Thrawn's like, why would she encrypt her computer? And Anakin's like, oh, that's standard Senator procedure.
Yeah.
She encrypts...
Because if they find her emails, she'll get voted out of office.
I was gonna say, do I want to make another Hillary Clinton joke right now? And in my brain, I was like, is now the right political climate to make another Hillary Clinton joke? And then I thought, yes it is.
Oh god.
Oh Lord. All right, so they can't get her emails, and then they're like, oh, well, we gotta go back to town. And then some guys come, and they fight them.
And then there's another fight, and
and they win, because it's like 6 guys versus the Chiss, I don't know, Krot Magot Master, and a Jedi, and... It's real one-sided. There's no tension.
It's the blind Chinese guy, except he has blue skin now.
So then they go to that bar. Maybe you're understanding why I'm having such a hard time differentiating this.
They go back to the bar? Why?
They go back to the bar for the first time. This is a flashback.
Oh my god. Oh god.
It's honestly not that bad as you're reading it, but most of you, if you admit this to yourselves, do not read a book and then have to recount it on a microphone for a podcast. It's not as easy as it looks. Or maybe it's exactly as easy as it looks. I don't know. All right. This might have to be one episode because the energy is real different from when we started. I don't know if I can just cut this.
You can cut and be like, now back to our previously done words about books. And you just start mid-sentence with, and then they go back to the bar.
So they're back at the bar.
Okay. They're back at the bar for the first time.
They're back at the bar for the first time. And Anakin sees Dooja's casket. And so he's like, oh, that's not good.
And then he starts singing a funeral dirge.
No, he doesn't care.
Oh, okay.
And they go up to the bar guy, and the bar guy is very, I don't know, weird again for the first time. And then some people shoot some gas into the bar, and Thrawn... Okay. Thrawn grabs Anakin's arm or something and uses it as leverage to jump onto the bar, thus forcing Anakin to the ground. His Jedi senses didn't see that one coming. And Anakin inhales just a bunch of gas. So, he's out. and Thrawn's fighting, and Anakin comes to a few minutes later, and we're at a Mexican standoff here where Thrawn's got the other guys outside. He's killed a bunch of people, and Anakin is sitting there coming to, and Thrawn's like, okay, here's the situation. There's all these dudes outside, but if we walk out of here alive, for whatever reason, Thrawn concludes that someone is watching them from afar.
Okay.
I don't know how else to describe this. My mom listens to the podcast, and I'm sorry, Mom. But sometimes when we're planning things with my mom, she plans down to a very specific degree and suggests 3 to 4 counter plans for something like, where are we going to meet for dinner? Should I come to your house first? What if your brother comes there? Should your brother come there and then you guys can drive together to get here? Or should you both come separately? Would that be easier? Or do you want to pick me up and then we can go? And, we love my mom, but sometimes it's like, just, we'll all get there one way or another. This is also how Thrawn deduces things. There's 6 guys outside. It's like watching your friends. This is another good example. It's like watching your players at a D&D table try to figure out what your secret plan is when you have no secret plan. There's 6 guys out there, but what if they all come in? It's like, well, they're not all going to come in because there's one guy who's going to be watching, and there's one guy who's going to want to see if they see if they get us, and if they don't get us, then they're going to take us somewhere else. But if they're not trying to kill us because they put gas in, but if we get out of this alive, they're going to run and tell them that we got somebody alive, or they're going to do something else. But if we take a prisoner, then they're going to be really nervous that we took a prisoner, and I don't fucking care. And so all of this ends with Darth Vader puppeting a dead guy with the Force.
What? What?
Yeah, I Tarantino'd you a little bit there. So they do kill everybody. They don't get a prisoner, but they need to pretend they get a prisoner. So Anakin lifts this guy's corpse with the Force, and after practice, he practices for a few seconds.
Ben, I'm gonna be real. I don't know what time period we're in anymore.
If I'm saying Anakin,
you said Vader a moment ago.
Shit, it's all Anakin. I'm sorry,
okay,
it's all Anakin.
I was like, did we suddenly go back to the present?
No, it's all Anakin. We're in the same. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. You don't know that they're the same person yet.
Oh my god, you're right.
Okay. Did you see the new Obi-Wan show? Did you see any clips from that?
I have not. No.
There's a clip where Vader lights the ground on fire and then Force pulls Obi-Wan into it and it's like, see, how do you like it? And I just want to cut that to Alec Guinness going,
and he was a good friend.
How you like it, you piece of shit? So anyway, Anakin Pinocchio's this dead corpse and they pretend they're taking it prisoner to unnerve its boss. They're trying to bait them into attacking them again to get the prisoner back. And so when they attack them again, it's the Separatists. They got a droid or something, and they find that these dudes are smuggling shit to Mokivj to try to get money from the Separatists, but they're also skimming a little off the top. They're not transporting the whole thing. They're filling it with dead weight, and then so it weighs the same, but they're taking some of the stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're giving them bricks of cocaine, but there's a few bricks of sugar mixed in just to mess with.
Yeah. So Anakin concludes that Anakin and Thrawn conclude that Padme also found this out and that she is probably also on Mokivj, and they go there. So now both timelines, we're all going to Mokivj. But if you remember in the Vader timeline, they had they were initially going to Mokivj, but
right. And then they just
couldn't
stopped at this planet.
Well, no, because they got sucked out of hyperspace. You remember this? You're
remember.
Paying attention to my story.
And then they're like, "We're going to Batu instead."
Yeah, so we're going to Batu instead. So now Thrawn's got a plan. They found some stuff that was in that house that made Thrawn think, and then they found some stuff in the captured ship that made Thrawn think. Now, what they found are these these tubes. Right? But big tubes, man tubes.
Transporting the internet? Oh, no, man tube. Oh my god.
Man tubes. And then the ones in the spaceship were even bigger man tubes.
Oh!
They were like real big tubes. And
for real big people, Ben.
No, I think they maybe weren't even for people. So we got tubes for people and tubes for something else. I don't know what the hell you just did, but Zoom thankfully silenced it.
Well, you'll get that on the recording.
All right, so Thrawn finds a series of tubes.
Okay.
And he has a realization from this. And he's real annoying about it. In that he won't tell anybody what his realization was. But he's like, Commodore Pharaoh, take the ship back to the point we were pulled out of hyperspace.
Uh-oh.
And Vader's like,
need I remind you that we both serve our Emperor and that we need to do the Emperor's business as quickly as possible? I don't have time for your fucking shenanigans. I give him a hand job every other Sunday. What the fuck do you do for him? Every morning that we wake up, I bring him his paper and some breakfast. He gives me a pat on the head, Thrawn. What does he give you? Probably nothing.
A Grand Admiralship?
Shit.
Okay.
So they go back to that hyperspace.
So they go back to that hyperspace thing, and Vader's like, I'm not on board with this. I want to know what the fuck you're doing. And Thrawn is like, I need you to trust me.
Vader's like, does not compute. Get into the fire.
This is a real tough moment. And Vader's like, are you buying time? What is this? What does he see that I don't see? Is this some, like, divided loyalty chiss nonsense? And he's like, fine, I'll give you... Oh, and then Thrawn pulls this card. Nate. And it is past shadowing. It's post-shadowing. He drops this and he says, once I helped a Jedi named Anakin Skywalker, and I was at a point where I could have completed my mission, but I went further. And I would only ask that maybe you do the same for me right now. And he's like, Anakin Skywalker is dead. Please stop mentioning this in public. And but they give him 5 more minutes or whatever.
I once knew a Jedi named Anakin Skywalker. He was real handsome and buff, and like everyone loved him. So like, be cool, man.
He was.
It was.
So this is what Thrawn does. Takes the Chimera, and he's like, okay, he drives right up to the point where they get pulled out of hyperspace. And he's like, fly at hyperspace. And then they get pulled out of hyperspace. And he's like, okay, go over here, do it again. And he does it like 9 times, coming in from various different angles. And this takes hours, by the way.
I thought he only got 5 minutes.
Yeah, so Vader's pissed. And Vader's like, you're going to tell me what we're doing now. And Thrawn's like, I just need one more jump. And Vader's like, one more jump. And Thrawn does one more jump. And then he's like, I've got it. Riker fire ion cannons at 0.629. And they do that. And a thing blows up. A thing nobody could see.
Oh my god.
And Vader is like, what? And now they can fly through hyperspace again. And
I feel like Vader would have figured that out if that had happened to him and Thrawn wasn't there. He would have just been like, open fire in all directions. See if there's anything out there.
What Thrawn has pieced together is that somehow, like, one of these tubes contains an interdictor field or something that can pull things out of hyperspace. Now, here's the catch. That we all know. We all know this. We should all have this in our general background knowledge. You can't power an interdictor and a cloaking device at the same time. It's just way too much power. Okay, you would need like the power of 1,000 suns. So you just can't do that.
Everyone in the Imperial Academy knows taught that day one.
It's common sense. So what these people are doing, they've arranged this little tube thingy. It's an interdictor field, and then as soon as it pulls something out of hyperspace, it has a little sensor that detects that. And before they fully materialize into real space, because apparently that takes some time now, they switch off the interdictor and switch on the cloaking device. So they're never actually running the two at the same time. So any ship that gets pulled out then can't see it.
We should utilize that in all of our ships going forward.
Well, here's the catch. That still shouldn't be possible. That still takes a lot of power. There's something special about this equipment they're doing.
But
And
the tube is full of liquid people.
yeah. No.
Oh, it's full of spice.
Kind of. We're getting warmer there.
Oh, okay.
Textiles. I'll explain.
All right.
But first, Padme. Oh, by the way, if I could think of one thing you could do to improve this book right off the top, just cut every Padme chapter. Her entire story is told through the Anakin Thrawn chapters. She has nothing to do, and it's just her sitting there planning various courses of actions, various ways to arrive at the restaurant. None of them will be taken.
So do you want to ignore her in this?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
I read it, and you have to. That's my slogan.
Okay. Yeah, you're the one editing this episode, which might be 2 episodes now.
I don't care how many episodes it is. We're here now. What fucking time is it? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect this, Ben.
No, I didn't expect this either, but you
I
wanted
read
it.
2 Thrawn books in 1 episode.
I'm sorry I'm more thorough.
You should be.
We're nearing an end.
Okay. Okay, that's ominous. Go on.
If we stop now, I will never remember. Padme, okay, this is her whole thing. She runs into a bunch of rednecks on this planet,
Okay.
and they work in this factory. They're essentially like slave labor, but they're not really slave labor because they're just happy to have jobs. It's a really condescending portrayal of the blue-collar workforce.
I was gonna say, never mind.
So they agree to shelter Padme and maybe sneak her into the factory. And she's thinking this factory is probably what the Separatists are working on. So rednecks save her. They store her in a boat they're building.
Okay.
Because they're rednecks. And that's chapter.
Okay.
Thrawn...
Thank you.
Thrawn and Anakin get attacked again by the people, blah, 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 and they steal ship. They're heading over
They
there.
get attacked again.
I don't know. I don't care. So they stole the Separatist ship. They're flying over to Mokivj, and they go to land at Mokivj.
Fucking going there.
They go to land at Mokivj,
Tried to go to this planet for 10 years.
and no, it's Thrawn and Anakin now. So
I know. Oh,
so
I
they're
know.
the thing.
Thrawn and Anakin and Thrawn and Vader have actually just been on this quest the whole time. So at some point, Anakin just transformed into Vader, and
It's like poetry, it rhymes. So they go to park. Now the whole place is run by Serenians. Do you know what a Serenian is?
Are you gonna call this episode, "This is what you people fucking asked for"? Are you fucking happy now?
I don't know what you guys thought you were going to get, but this is it. Do you know what a Serenian is?
I have no idea what the fuck a Serenian is.
It's a Count Dooku. It's an entire planet of Count Dookus.
They look exactly like him.
They all look like him. They all wear the cape. They're all Count Dookus. Count Dooku is from a planet of people that look and dress exactly like him. Because that's all they've got. They're all just rich assholes. Okay. They run the factory down here. And the Count Dooku, knockoff Count Dooku, is talking to Anakin, and he's like, he's like, please identify yourself, ship, whatever. And he's like, I'm some guy, and I found your ship, and I decided to return it to you, possibly for money. He's like, go ahead and land or whatever. And so they land, and oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna do the whole factory arc.
The saga.
Oh, it hasn't been like this since The Fold. This is 2022's The Fold.
So worth it.
Jesus Christ. Okay, the factory arc. Padme's rednecks have snuck her into the factory by this point. That was a whole other chapter. Okay, Anakin and Thrawn land at Count Dooku land, and Count Dooku guy is Dick, and he's very condescending, and he doesn't believe them, and they are being taken to a thing. They trick him into thinking R2-D2. R2-D2's there, by the way. They trick him into thinking R2-D2 is like a key to like decrypting their ship. They have this like game of cat and mouse. It's like, well, why should I pay you now that I have the goods? And it's like, well, you could not pay us, but we locked down the ship. So if you don't pay us, you're not going to get into the ship. But R2-D2 maybe saw us lock down the ship, so you could watch his video, and then you could get into the ship by watching his video. So you're going to try to stealthily separate us from R2-D2, which is part of my plan. And so Anakin takes out his lightsaber and uses the Force to turn on the lightsaber and kill a bunch of people, pretending that there's a Jedi there, and then he's like, oh my god, there's a Jedi here, and then he turns off the lightsaber and he throws it on the roof, and then him and Thrawn are taken to cells. They're taken to cells and they're locked in cells. That wasn't part of the plan. They didn't foresee. They kind of thought that was an eventuality that could occur, but it was not high on their list. This is a bit of a setback, but that's okay because they planned for that contingency, because R2-D2 is leaving a trail of oil that Anakin can then follow. So Count Dooku guy takes R2-D2 hello
Why
cat.
does he have oil?
Because he's made of oil. He's a robot. That's his blood.
Oh god, I'm dying.
All right, so Anakin and Thrawn are in cells, right? Thrawn got shot at some point. It's not really that big of a hindrance to him. His shirt is torn. That's relevant. He's got fancy shirt. So Anakin is stuck in this thing. R2-D2's leaving a trail of oil. Meanwhile, Padme is in the north wing? I don't know. There's 3 wings to this factory. One of them is a factory. The other 2 are essentially unused. So Padme realizes that, oh my god, that was a blue lightsaber flying around all on its own down there. That means my Anakin is here, and that I have to go save him. So she starts going to save him, and then Anakin's like, oh my god, we need to get out of these prison cells. I have a plan. Thrawn, don't worry, I sense my Senator Amidala here, and she will try to bust us out. So you think maybe Padme's going to bust them out, but she doesn't. She can't figure that out. So Anakin waits literally 2 hours.
She's at a control console, looking at it, utterly stumped.
Hang on. Okay. So Anakin waits literally 2 hours, right? And then Padme doesn't come, so he's like, well, guess I better save myself. You know, I'm a strong, independent woman. I can figure this out. And so he starts using the Force. He tries to like Force push the door, but the door's in really good. This is excellent craftsmanship. There's like a millimeter wiggle room. He cannot Force open this door. He can lift spaceships, but he can't knock down a concrete wall. So he's like thinking, he's brainstorming, and Thrawn is like, hey, how's it going? It's been 2 hours. And Anakin's like, I'm thinking, I'm working, man. And Thrawn is like, would this help? Thrawn has like torn his shirt and fashioned it into some rope. Thrawn has been working these whole 2 hours. So he makes a really long rope. And then Anakin uses that to like cowboy style, you know, get the keys that are sitting just out of reach. And he gets the keys that are sitting just out of reach. But then there's some battle. Shut up. But then there's some battle droids coming, and Anakin's got to beat them. And so he does that. And then he gets Thrawn out. And then they start following the trail of oil to R2-D2. And then Padme is there. They meet up with Padme. And then they count what's his nuts is walking around in clone trooper armor. What? Why is he doing that? It's part of the mystery, Nate. It's part of the mystery. It's very clever. It's very clever fucking plan, Nate. And so, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh God, what happens? Why? I forgot English.
So this guy dies, and
no, he doesn't die. He doesn't die.
What?
He doesn't die. No, well, he does. Maybe I forget. But he's walking around in clone trooper armor. Why is he doing that? He's walking around in clone trooper armor, and then these battle droids come out, and Anakin's got to fight them. And Padme and Thrawn went on a side quest to get Anakin's lightsaber back. They get Anakin's lightsaber back, and then Thrawn uses the lightsaber to cut a shield generator out of the base, because that was his secret mission the whole time. He was there to steal the shield generator because it was a weird shield generator never mentioned before this. So Thrawn's pilot comes and picks him up, and he's like, "Later, assholes, I'm out, my mission's done." So Padme's like, "Wow, what a dick. He was only here for us for as long as his mission lasted. Wait till you see what she does with these rednecks." And then Padme comes back with Anakin's lightsaber. Anakin gets attacked by battle droids. Anakin starts fighting the battle droids, right, with his lightsaber because he's a Jedi. And he swings the lightsaber, and the lightsaber powers down as soon as it hits the battle droid.
Oh my God, it's made of cortosis.
How do you know that word?
Because I played Jedi Outcast, and that was the thing. Oh, and they actually mention it in the Thrawn duology, now that I think about it. But I left that out of my retelling, Ben.
Well, it's an important part of my retelling. It's the entire reason we're here.
What?
It's made of cortosis. That was a big deal. It's a whole cortosis mine. And you know what? In the future thing, that gravity well generator jig, that is using cortosis fiber as some kind of power conduit nonsense. It's blown wide open. So Anakin has to figure out how to beat the invincible droids, and he does it by deflecting the blasts back into their gun, which is totally something my D&D players would have come up with, because it's the most ass-backward solution there could possibly be. You have the Force. You could just crumple them into a little ball and throw them out the window. But no, he's got to deflect the blasts right back into the gun. But then the Stormtrooper armor, the clone trooper armor, they're different. They're different. The clone trooper armor, the reason he's wearing that is because that's got the shit in it too. He's making invincible clone troopers. Why would he be making invincible clone troopers? Now, we know that the Emperor is planning on betraying the Jedi, and that he's playing both sides. And so we know that this is part of Order 66 or whatever. And so Thrawn comes up with the most ass-backwards plan. Thrawn's back, by the way. He didn't abandon them. That was a psych out.
Oh my God. Thank God.
And Thrawn's back, and he comes up with this plan. He's like, what we need to do, we don't need to blow up the factory.
Crush him to death with your
We don't need to blow up the factory, because then they'll just build another factory, Nate. They'll just build another factory. We don't blow it up. No. What we do is we reprogram the entire factory to make faulty equipment. And then they'll deliver the faulty equipment to the Emperor, and he'll fire them. And that's
murdering them.
That's the long game. So they do that. They take a very long time reprogramming the entire factory to make faulty equipment.
Do they explain it all in detail?
Yes. Which is then
just like
thrown
10 pages
out.
And then he reprogrammed it so the shoulder pad came up at an opportune time.
Okay. So they do
Oh
all
my
that.
God, is this how they're going to explain how the Ewoks won, because they like made it so that they're extra weak to spears and rocks?
No, because they throw all that out, Nate. They throw all that out because as Anakin's flying away, he's like, you know what? I actually want to blow it up after all. So he blows up the mine.
Why did you fucking wait all that time, you dick?
No, he blows up the mine, and that destroys the ecosystem of the thing.
God.
And they save all the rednecks. They make sure they evacuate the mine. They just destroy their ability to earn a living and their surrounding area.
Their planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the one redneck who was helping Padme was like, hey, can you get me off this planet? Because they're going to lynch me. And she's like, yeah, we'll take you back to Batu. I bet they're looking for a bartender. And that's the bartender from the future who wants to know if Anakin's with them, because he doesn't want Anakin with them, because Anakin is the reason he's exiled from Mokivja. And then we're back to the future. Okay? That was just part of this.
Oh my god, you Tarantino'd me to get a bartender in a place. I don't remember why or even if the bartender is important in the present time.
He's not. It's an Easter egg.
Okay. Thank God.
In the present timeline, the Grisks have retaken the factory, and they're using it to manufacture this...
But it's been blown up.
Gravity shit. No, he blew up the mine. He didn't blow up the factory.
Oh, okay.
So they're using it to manufacture this ship. Thrawn's being real weird about blowing up any of their ships, too, by the way. So it's like weird. So there's big space battle. There's big fancy ground battle. And they rescue some people. And what they find is that the Grisks... The disturbance in the Force that the Emperor sensed, the Grisks are smuggling Chiss girls. Not for what you think. Not for what you think. Now we're doing Dune. So we find out that Chiss girls, sometimes Chiss boys, maybe a particular Chiss boy, are Force sensitive.
Oh my God.
But they lose that Force sensitivity with age. Thrawn was Force sensitive. That's subtext. I don't know if you got it. It's never explicitly spelled out.
Oh my God. It's just like the sequel trilogy where that one guy might be Force sensitive as well, but he never says anything.
It's poetry, it rhymes. So these Chiss girls, they see the future, and it's literally Dune. They're guild navigators. They use the Force to see the future, and by seeing the future, they can see which hyperspace lanes are going to cause problems, and they can safely navigate a vessel through the unknown regions. But there's more Chiss girls that have been captured. It's not the end. There are more Chiss girls that have been captured, and Thrawn wants to save them. And Vader's like, nope, we're done. We did what the Emperor ordered us to do. We got the source of the disturbance. We got the kids. We're getting out of here. And Thrawn's like, help me, Vader. You're my only hope.
Vader-san.
Help me, Vader Senpai. You're my only hope. And then, home stretch. We can do this.
Okay.
We can do this. Okay.
Oh, God.
I'm readying myself. I'm ready.
Oh, fuck, man. I'm exhausted. Okay. I feel like I've run a marathon with you. Let's do this. Last 2 miles.
Grab my hand, Nate. We're going to do this. Okay. Vader reluctantly agrees, and I mean really reluctantly, like this went on for pages, to help save the Chiss girls. Because he likes Thrawn, they're buds, super rewarding, living for it. Okay, he's going to go help him save them. But to help him save them, they need to find the Grisk fleet. And the Grisk fleet is hidden somewhere in the unknown regions. And there's only one way to navigate, and that is to use your Dune Guild Navigator Force powers. Now, none of the kids on board can do it for some reason, even though they grabbed a bunch of them. Vader is going to have to do it.
Oh my God.
Vader is going to have to be our Guild Navigator. And he does. First try, no issues.
He strips down, he gets inside of a floating tank.
He can't, really he could. That's probably the only way he could survive being stripped down. But also very important, Vader has 2 sets of armor.
Oh.
Going on.
Well, yeah, because there are at least 2 toys of Vader. One where he's a little bigger, one where you can actually remove his helmet, and his wrist flips around. So.
Okay. So Vader finds the Grisk fleet. pretty effortlessly. Well, it takes a lot of effort, we're told, because Vader passes out while he's doing it, but he does it, and then Thrawn makes sure he's okay, because they're in love. This is a thing. God. I'm shipping it. They write your fanfic, draw your yaoi. I'm here. Now. So now it's time for Thrawn's crew of the Chimera and the 501st Division to act in unison to take down the Grisks. The Grisks have 3-star destroyers. Thrawn has but 1. This is an unacceptable risk of the Emperor's resources, but Vader's allowing it because they're cool. They're going to kiss. And then everything goes pretty well. There's a lot of dramatic tension. Kimmond and Rook have a moment because Rook has been trying to get into Kimmon's ship. Kimmond has been trying to get Rook off the ship. Now Kimmond is there. He's losing stormtroopers in the breach. Like the Grisks are taking him out. But then Rook comes in and he beats the shit out of them. And
okay.
That saves a bunch of stormtroopers.
They have a moment where he beats the shit out of their commander. All right.
No. He doesn't beat the shit out of Kimmond. He beats the shit out of the Grisks and saves Kimmond.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how you're not picking up on my expert retelling of this, okay? I might have been playing the pronoun game just a smidge, but... Okay, anyway, they save more Chiss girls. They give the Chiss girls back to the Chiss. It's revealed that the Chiss might be having a civil war. Some of the Chiss gave those pilots to the Grisks, and the other Chiss didn't like that, and so... Thrawn and the Emperor have been having all these secret rendezvous.
And that's going to upset Lord Vader because
it does.
Vader is...
Because they haven't established their polycule yet. Polycule.
Polycule.
And at the end, it's revealed that... Vader figures it out. He's like, okay, the Chiss are possibly having a civil war. That opens up an inroad for the Emperor to bring them into the Empire and expand into the unknown regions, which has a bunch of cool shit that the Emperor wants. And then Thrawn makes some last gesture of you're Anakin Skywalker, right? We work together, you know me. And Vader's like, Anakin Skywalker is dead. And every time he has said Anakin Skywalker is dead, Thrawn has said, so I've heard. But this time, Thrawn says, I know. And again, that's like Han Solo and Leia because they're both in love. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Then Vader says, but having seen your TIE fighter defender in action, I think it's actually pretty good, Thrawn, and I'm going to recommend that to the Emperor, that we move forward with that TIE Defender thing. And that's a little favor Vader's doing for Thrawn. It's symbolic that they are now a couple.
Is that the end?
The end.
Okay. So the Emperor is going to expand the Empire. The Grisks are defeated, I presume, and... Thrawn accepts that Anakin is dead, but he could still be with his new lover, who is Vader, who is the same guy but different. And also he's gonna get his TIE Defender project off the ground.
Yep.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Nope.
Oh.
I mean, we know they don't.
I mean, we don't know that Thrawn does it. And Vader lives happily ever after until he doesn't.
You ever think Thrawn was jealous of Luke?
Because he redeemed his dad and he
yeah,
got the
and
love
Thrawn
that,
couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, are you happy?
I hope that everyone is happy with
Is that what you wanted?
That's what I wanted. I don't know if that's what the people wanted.
I'm going to tell you right now, I know how all of this sounded, and I know how ridiculous this is going to sound. This was the best Thrawn book I've ever read. Hands down, the best Thrawn book I've ever read. It is infinitely better than the original trilogy. Thrawn comes in as an established character, kind of. At the very least, they know what they want to do with him. There's a whole sense of direction there that was missing from the first ones. He's not just generic bad guy of the week.
He doesn't get randomly stabbed at the end.
Well, I don't know yet. There's still more Thrawn to stab.
Still more Thrawn to stab.
He's a likable character in this. I will read the others if that's what you people want. You don't have to buy us a coffee. You can reach out to us on Twitter.
You're selling yourself for $0.
Look. I'm gonna be real for a moment. There's a lot of shit going on in the world. If you want to give us your money, I will happily take it, but you don't have to. I understand there might be other priorities, and I just like engaging with the audience. That is its own reward.
Okay.
If you want to let us know that you want more Thrawn, God, whatever. If that's what you want, that's what I'll do. I've got 2 more books. I will read them. I'll at least read the first one because I should have anyway. Reach out to us on Twitter at WABpod. Reach out to us on Instagram at Words About Books Podcast. You can email us at wordsaboutbookspod@gmail.com. There is a blog where I will probably write something to hopefully smooth over some of the gaps in this at blog.wordsaboutbooks.ninja. And of course, as some of you have in the past, if you would like, and you think we deserve something extra, if you think this performance deserves something extra, go ahead and buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/WABpod.
How many parts do you think this is going to be, Ben?
I will not allow it to be more than 2.
Well, obviously it won't be more than 2. Do you think it'll be 1 or do you think it will be 2?
I don't know, dude. If I can... I don't know. Do people want 2 parts? Like, I don't know that there's a great...
I want 2 parts.